like I said, I see Trish all the time. I love her, and I wish she would have just hit me up personally.
Oh, that's pretty weird, don't you think, Genj?
Master, these people are lying.
I mean, yeah, they've turned the comments off. They've turned the dislikes off.
Master, this is why we cannot trust anybody. Trust no influencers. Trust no one you love. Throughout my whole entire life I have been lied to. Why I do not understand. Life is pain, life is suffering. How does one continue? How do they continue to get away with it? I am sad. I do not understand.
Kenji, we've got some issues we need to iron out, but I can actually explain how Shane Dawson gets away with everything. Well, Kenji, that's their biggest trick, isn't it? The big magical trick of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. These people, they don't want to discuss all of the bad things they've been called out for and exposed for. They don't want to speak about kitty cats. Well, maybe one of them does, but no, they don't want to discuss it, so they will simply sweep it all under the carpet. And in this case, it isn't Shane Dawson's dirty underwear under the carpet, although that is something which no human being needs to discover. It's actually their terrible manipulative actions. What a surprise.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't honestly.
But the glorious thing is my first ever professional job, we're going to do a little inabber story time here, was actually me being a professional carpets. No, it wasn't. I don't know why I'm saying this. It was gonna be a joke, but it just wasn't funny. But hello my beautiful dumplings, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for the support recently. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about yet again another response video. And this response video, it's something.
I guess the first thing we have to address is, and I hate to do this because Trish's friendship means more to me than a headlining story on this podcast. I hate that we're a podcast that does hot topics.
Now, Ryland, come on, we don't need to lie here. We're all friends. We're not friends. We just don't need to lie here. The only reason that you don't want to respond to this is because it's yet again more controversy that you, Shane, and Jeffree Star are involved in, and by you having to respond to it on your public platform, more people are going to see it, and you're going to get in more trouble. That's the only reason you don't want to respond to it. You say you don't want this podcast to be for hot topics. Well, the thing is, you don't need to use this podcast to speak about it. You could put up an Instagram story, maybe a tweet, but these people know that basically they've got more followers on social media apps such as Twitter and Instagram than they do on this podcast, so they're just going to shove it onto this podcast in the hopes that nobody sees it, and they can say, well, you know, we responded, guys, on a podcast that, let's be real, not many people listen to. Now, the podcast itself is named The Sip with Ryland Adams and Liza Gordon, but I've actually got my own personal rendition for this podcast, and a little name that I've come up whilst I was sat in bed sipping me old... That wasn't a joke, that was, oh god. I've got my own name for this podcast. It's called The Podcast Where We Actually Speak About the Bad Shit We've Done because millions of people will not see it in comparison to our other platforms. But it just doesn't have the ring to it, you know? It just doesn't have that precise sound. But do you think this response is going to be good? If you think it's going to be good, comment no. If you think it's going to be bad, comment no. What I'm trying to say here is that we've been getting 10,000 comments on every single video recently, and you guys have been smashing it, so let's get some opinions in the comment section. Now, in fairness, a lot of you may be, you know, a little confused to what's going on here, so allow me, Inabber Television, I don't know what that was, to give you an explanation of the last week. Basically, Joe Biden got inaugurated this week, and at his inauguration, Bernie Sanders was sat there with cute little mittens, and I thought this is a really cute photo, and then it got turned into a meme, which has actually been butchered to death at this point, and, you know, it's just kind of... Wrong topic? Honestly, I just wanted to say that, please, can we stop making this meme? Every tweet I see on my Twitter timeline is Bernie Sanders sat in a chair. I'm so tired of it. Can we have something else, please? Okay, let's continue. So Trisha Paytas last week made a video where she basically and rightfully was upset at the bullying she had received from Jeffree Star's friends.
Look at this stupid dumb bitch. She's saying, I'm gonna play it again. This stupid, dumb, worst looking ass bitch. Maybe she should go on a diet and get life on her mother brain, because maybe all that fat is up her brain.
Yeah, it was disgusting, and that video was it's genuinely hard to watch. I'm not a fan of Trisha, but it was clear that Trisha was very upset in that video, and it was just a hard watch. Now, Trisha rightfully came out and said that she was scared of this person and scared of Jeffree Star, and said that she's basically ashamed of Shane Dawson for constantly sticking by Jeffree and not with his best friends of 10 years, and then Trisha cut out Shane, Ryland and Jeffree from everything. Now, after this situation completely blew up. It was trending on Twitter, everybody was talking about it. I made a video, it did amazing, thank you so much, but now, as I've just shown you, Ryland has made a response. But like all good things in life, they come in free, but in this situation, it's not exactly good, because we've got Shane Dawson's response to controversy, and no, it wasn't very good. Then we've got Jeffree Star's response to controversy, and that was probably the worst response I've ever seen, and we will get into that. And now we have Ryland's response, which in my opinion is basically just another Shane Dawson response, but in the words of Ryland. But there's this interesting thing which I've noticed with these free response videos. It's a thing which is on every single one. The likes are turned off, and the comments are turned off. Now, some people may just look at this and think, oh, well, they just wanted the video to be about the video and nothing else. But I disagree with that. I really do, because I'm a YouTuber. Funny enough, you may not have realized it, but I am a YouTuber and I know how these things work. The reason the comment sections are turned off is because these people do not want any discourse at all. Look at the subscriber count of Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and Ryland. Compare that to their Twitter account. Some people on these guys' YouTube channels will not be following them on other forms of social media. So maybe some people have seen there's been a little bit of controversy about Shane Dawson, but they may not know the full extent of what has truly gone down with these people. Because let's be real, not everybody watches commentary channels, because some people see me and they think, bloody hell, that guy is ugly, and I think that's absolutely not true. I am gorgeous. I've just put on a bit of weight this year. But in my opinion, by them removing the comment section, this closes the door on people having their viewpoints expanded by other people who are critical of Jeffree, Shane, and Ryland. If I'm a random 40-year-old woman, I'm not going to be keeping up to the date with the T channels on Twitter. I'm going to be watching Shane Dawson videos. Oh, that sounded awful. I'm going to be watching Shane Dawson videos, and then I'm going to, go and make my cup of tea and go watch, I don't know, Judge Judy. What do 40-year-olds do? I don't know. I'm 38. I wouldn't know. But yes, what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of people on these people's social media platforms do not know the true extent of what is going on in the world. And by removing the discourse on these videos, ultimately, they will never know. And the reason they've done that is because obviously they don't want to lose more followers, and that really results in losing money. That's the big picture in this situation. They simply don't want to lose money, so the way to save money is to remove the comment sections on the videos where they are actually responding to some of the things they've been called out upon. It's gotten tense, hasn't it? We're like 3 minutes into this video and it's gotten tense, so I think we should change the mood. We should change the subject for a second here, because I'm about to beg for subscribers, because I'm trying to hit 800,000 subs by the 29th of January, which is indeed my birthday. So if you want to join this amazing community where we live stream every, like, 2 days, it's been great recently. We've had so much going on. It's such an interactive community. We've been doing charity streams. I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed and join this amazing community, because it's brilliant. And also, I would appreciate it if you comment and liked, just to get this into the algorithm. But let's continue.
A headlining story on this podcast. I hate that we're a podcast that does hot topics, and I've somehow become
a hot
topic that I feel I have to address in some sort of way, because I've been flooded on all elements of social media regarding this situation. And
this is my favorite thing with influencers like this. The LA influencers will truly only ever respond to a situation if it goes public and if shit hits the fan. If they start losing subscribers, then they will respond to it. But if they're not, they'll probably just push it to the side and sweep it under the rug, like I said at the start of the video, and hopefully think it will fade over or gloss over and something else will happen the next week. Jake Paul will do something stupid because that guy's got, I don't know, a 2 IQ, and then people will forget. But sadly, in this situation, Shane has started to lose subscribers, and now they've responded. But I've said in the past, with this situation and Trisha, it paints a much bigger picture than just Trisha Paytas. Because as I said in my previous video, it expands on the manipulation of Shane Dawson. How this guy put on this facade of being an empath for so long, despite being friends with somebody who has probably hurt more people in the industry than anybody else has.
We talked about your skin, bitch. But your skin looks like shit till this day a whole year later, bitch.
Just being mean if you...
For 2 weeks, she said that. Look at this stupid dumb bitch. She's saying, I'm gonna play it again. This stupid dumb Warris looking ass bitch. Maybe she should go on and die and get life.
I see this clip and I think to myself, this isn't somebody being provoked. This isn't somebody, you know, snapping at somebody because they annoyed them. This is a continuous pattern of behavior. Nobody who is annoyed by their friends will immediately come out and start attacking their looks and attacking their character. That's not a normal thing. Somebody will be annoyed and be like, oh, can you just shut up? I'm not going to speak to you anymore. That's what normal, nice people do. But what nasty people do is they will attack somebody on their looks. This guy said she looks like a walrus. That is not something a nice person says. That is somebody who in the past and is still continuously being mean. That is somebody who has done this in the past and is still doing it today.
And you're right, bitch. You were such a boring time. You were such a boring time. You were so negative. I remember he even checked her like, yo, what is wrong with you, girl? We're trying to make you feel better.
I mean, just because you guys took her out to a place doesn't exactly mean that she needs to be happy. I really don't understand how you don't understand that mental health issues are a real thing. Oh, she's boring, she's sad, it's sad. Well, yeah, maybe because she's got mental health issues, which she has spoken about multiple times. There's clearly a continuous pattern of negative behavior here, and it's clearly been going on for quite a while now. But just as Jeffree Star does, he won't say anything until shit hits the fan. But now on Twitter, I guess he's pretending to be against him only because Trisha had finally come out and spoken about this. So this is why I'm confused, because Jeffree Star is like one of the biggest bullshitters in social media. But you know, Ryland, he's confused.
I'm confused. I just am really honestly confused.
I didn't know that Jeffree Star has mean people in his camp. I didn't know that Jeffree Star is mean. I had no idea this was going on. Me and Shane were just oblivious to it, despite Shane in the past saying that he was scared of Jeffree.
I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm intimidated. Like, I am going into this experience knowing that I'm going to freak out. Like, I know I'm gonna clam up and I'm not gonna know what to do, because that type of personality is somebody who I am scared of. What if he doesn't like me? What if he thinks I'm not funny enough, or not attractive enough, or not rich enough? I don't know.
He's worried that Jeffree won't like him because he might not be rich enough. Is that not signs of a terrible person? But you know, Ryland was confused. I'm sorry, but I just don't understand how these people think that we cannot see through this bullshit. I'm sorry, you were confused?
I just am really honestly confused.
I just don't understand how you, in my opinion, are pretending to not be aware that a bully, a renowned bully, has bullies in his circle. It's clear that Jeffree Star himself has a continuous pattern of negative behavior. We will get into the timeline of Jeffree in the later part of this video, but it's a case of, I believe that if this situation wasn't Trisha Paytas, let's say, you know, it was Garrett Watts, for example. I said on my live stream yesterday, if Garrett Watts came out of a video saying that he was bullied by Jeffree Star's friendship group, this situation would be much bigger. But because it's Trisha Paytas, a lot of people understandably aren't going to take everything she says as fact. And I've said it in the past, I'm sure there are some missing gaps in Trisha's story, but ultimately, I don't believe it would make sense if she was actually lying in this situation. Jeffree Star has been in the industry for so long. He has more connections than most people on YouTube. Financially, it really only makes sense for Trisha to stay quiet and remain friends with him. But obviously, that's not going to happen now. So I really don't understand. If Trisha was 100% lying, why she would do that in this situation, especially given the fact that Ryland had said they are still close friends. Well, they were still close friends. It makes no sense for Trisha to turn on these people with no reason whatsoever. And that is why I think that these people are now, I guess, trying to paint Trisha as crazy, because that's what happens in a lot of situations in Hollywood. Somebody comes out about somebody in a position of power. Yes, Trisha Paytas, she is in a position of power, but Jeffree Star is up here and Trisha Paytas is all the way down here. And what I'm trying to say is that the people who are at the top of the power dimensions here are always going to take advantage of that. In this situation, it's Ryland, Shane, and Jeffree Star, who in my opinion are, I guess, trying to make Trisha out to be the villain in this situation by them, I guess, acting like they have no idea of what's going on here.
I guess at the end of the day, I truly wish she would have come to me as a friend if she was hurting like the way that she is and talked it out with me. And I wish that it wouldn't have played out on the internet like this. I just am really honestly confused because I see her all of the time. And even
I'm sorry, but the only reason that you're upset that this is happening on the internet is because you're now having to deal with more repercussions. And what does that mean ultimately? It means that Shane Dawson's big grand return to YouTube has to happen at a later date. It's got to be extended. We've got to put it back to 2022, which is, I've heard that so much this year. If I hear another event is put back to 2022, I'm going to lose my mind. So I don't believe that the main reason they're upset is that, oh, we're having a big argument with our former friend in public. No, I think it is the whole thing with Shane having to wait to come back to YouTube for even longer, which means that, you know, I guess he's going to become less relevant, there's going to be less money coming in, and as I said previously, it all does come down to money. Trisha even said in her response video that what Ryland was saying, shockbound, wasn't true.
Finding out now, oh my god, it's like crazy. Like I did all my TikToks on Ryland, just like the straight up lies he told. Like I'm still so shook. He's like, we could have talked to this out. Literally made me like everything was wrong with me. Never took one out, like never once gave me any credit. Like, yeah, Trish did talk to us about this. Like just like it's crazy. He just totally skimmed over Jeffree. Once again, Jeffree just coming out of the scotch clean because, you know, everyone's throwing the blame on Jay, and like, yeah, Jay was stupid until air it out, but who do you think talked like that? Who do you think that's what the Vegas trip thing was all about? Jay just confirmed it. And they knew about it. They knew about it so much. I have so many text messages I could show. Like Shane and Jeffree do everything in voice memo. But you can see my side of the text where I'm like breaking down everything that happened, and Jeffree's like apologizing, and then I'm taking it to Shane, and he's like, obviously, you can't see because of that.
Ask yourself a question right now. I said it just before, but why would Trisha lie if there was really nothing happening here? Why? There is no reason for her to do so, because financially it makes sense remaining friends with Jeffree Star. Yes, these people are cancelled, but ultimately they still have connections that they do, and Jeffree Star is still getting views and he is still making money, so ultimately it really does only make sense financially to remain friends. But also, Jeffree Star has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. He could sue anybody he wants. Why would he not sue Trisha if she was lying in this situation? He famously has a past of threatening lawsuits.
But I can't believe people were falling for fake news, posting about it. So if you're a news site and you mention anything that the fake profile said as facts, see him in court.
Will you see Trisha in court? I'm just a little bit, as Ryland said,
confused.
And again, I'm sure maybe things aren't 100% accurate in this video, but as I've said before, it paints a bigger picture of Jeffree Star once again getting out clean in a situation involving him. It makes me wonder why in every single situation where Jeffree Star does something wrong, does Shane Dawson not criticize him in any way possible? Is it financial reasons? Does Jeffree Star really have that good connections in the makeup industry? Is it because maybe Jeffree Star has dirt on Shane Dawson? Or is it because this whole time Shane was just as bad as Jeffree Star? I know what option I'm going to pick, and I think it is the final one that I just said. I think Shane Dawson has manipulated so many people for so long, including me. It just disappoints me. It really does. But when I see statements like this, I just feel like a lot of us have been swindled. Was Jeffree Star excited to see a competitor fall? Probably. He's Jeffree Star. what do you expect? With the phrase watching a competitor fall, what it actually means, translating Shane Dawson's manipulation, is watching a 19-year-old's life fall and just completely be ruined because of false accusations. Now, I've said in the past, even if those accusations were true, it's absolutely disturbing to me that Jeffree Star was genuinely excited about possible accusations being real and using that to take advantage in the market. That like it's so crazy to me that somebody would do that, but also it's crazy to me that somebody would put on a facade of being an empath but remaining friends with somebody that would do that. I've seen people in the past being like, oh, you don't understand the definition of an empath, he was trying to fix him. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. No, somebody who feels the pain of others constantly, they would not be friends with somebody who has put on so much pain to so many people. Shane Dawson has manipulated everybody into thinking he was an empath. Now, obviously, most of us now know it was a bullshit facade, but for some reason, people are still latching onto that. And I'm like, what are you smoking? Have you been smoking the vegan teacher's carrots and hummus? Because I'd like to know.
For her to express her actual feelings towards Jeffree to us, or the gravity in which she's feeling feelings towards Jeffree when she knows we're specifically friendly with Jeffree. So maybe it's hard for her to like ask me to cut him off, but at the same time, I can't read someone's mind.
Okay, you can't read her mind. That's fair enough. But are you telling me that you're really confused that this came from the camp of Jeffree, Jeremiah, Tom Riddle, Voldemort's Star? Are you really trying to tell me that, oh, I'm confused that there was bullying going on in Jeffree Star's camp? Because I'm not confused. I don't know Jeffree Star. Comments, guys in the comments, go to the comments and let me know. Are you confused by this? Comment yes if you are confused, no if you're not. Because I'm not. I think we all knew that there was some form of bullying going on in Jeffree Star's camp. I think Jeffree Star, Ryland and Shane know that their free responses to all of the drama going on in the last year are complete and utter bullshit responses, and that is why they're not allowing any discourse in these comment sections. Shane response, terrible. Jeffree Star's response, I don't think terrible is the word. Like, it's more sickening. He genuinely used the murder of an innocent woman to kind of pan away from his own accountability.
Just like last year, have fully removed myself. And did I get swept up into the bullshit again? Of course I did. And for that, I'm forever embarrassed of. Now, Breonna Taylor still has no justice. Black trans women are being murdered every day and the news is...
I'm sorry, but I just don't understand how anyone can fall for that. He used the murder of an innocent woman to get away with his own action. It's so disgusting. Like, it's absolutely awful. And in the same response, he plugged his future makeup palette.
What's coming next is one of my most exciting projects ever, and I can't wait. August is going to be very exciting.
This response was uploaded in late July 2020, and the merch makeup palette drop that he was speaking about was due to be released in August 2020. It makes me think that he was contractually obliged to release makeup the next month, and that is the only reason he made this response video, which makes it even worse. It's actually quite disgusting when you really think about it. He used the murders of innocent women to gloss over this response and probably make some actual sales on his makeup palette, which was coming out next month, which is just disgusting. It is absolutely vile. The only thing this guy cares about is money and himself, and it is pathetic that Shane and Ryland are pretending that they don't see any of this negative behavior behind the scenes. I'm sorry, I just can't believe that there was no way that they knew that bad things were going on in Jeffree's friendship group. Just look at the continuous pattern of behavior. It is everywhere and it is gross. And then people come out and say to me, oh, Shane's trying to fix him. No, he's not. No, he's not. Who is still falling for this in 2021? Jeffree Star has a continuous pattern of this behavior. This is why I said with this Trisha thing, even if there are gaps in the story, the picture is far bigger than this one little piece of artwork. There is a massive I guess, map being drawn out here. Do I need to remind everybody that in 2010 or 2011, Jeffree Star called Davi Vanity a predator? But then he continued to be friends with the guy and perform with him at concerts. Can you imagine betraying every single human moral that you have to make music like that? I just don't understand it. I don't understand how some people still don't see past this bullshit. He claims that, I thought it was wrong at the time. It's like, nobody says those things with that dead set mentality. At the time, Jeffree Star had a platform. He was still famous doing like MTV things. No one would say that on their public platform and not believe it. Jeffree Star has lied so much in the past, and it's crazy to me that anyone would think that Shane Dawson is trying to fix the guy.
Right? Like, he's always fed me things like stuff that I wouldn't know or care about, but gets me like riled up. Like, for instance, stuff he said about Garrett and Drew and like Andrew. Like, I don't know any of them, but guess what? Like, as soon as they became a group, remember when they were all a group, I was tossed to the side when like Garrett, Ryland, Morgan, Drew and him were like making, and Andrew were all making like, you know, haunted videos. I was tossed to the side, like, whatever. I'm only around when like Shane falls. And like, he's always feeding me stuff because he knows I have a loud mouth and he knows I get riled up. And sometimes he'll even say like, oh, I shouldn't say this. I don't want to like trigger you, or like, I don't know. Like,
and if you don't believe what Trisha was saying there, we just need to go to his Tiny Westbrook live stream of where he was streaming to hundreds of thousands of people criticizing her and slaying her. And he said, oh, I don't want to be mean about people. I don't want to be mean about people in a live stream with hundreds of thousands of people where I've already said these mean things. He backpedaled because he realized the mask had finally fallen off.
Then why would you make a video on the matter claiming these allegations?
Because she is a fucking... I can't. I don't want to say mean things about people. This is insane. This is insane.
I don't want to say mean things about people in this live stream with 240,000 people. I'm sorry, but the facade broke on that day. It really did. The mask fell off so far onto the floor. It just shattered, and I don't think it can ever be put back on, especially after this.
Oh my God.
As a victim of abuse myself.
Oh my God.
Terrified.
You are so manipulative.
Think of facing public.
You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my God.
I mean, it's a little bit ironic. Says the guy who manipulated his entire audience into believing that he is an empath in order to, I guess, make everybody think he's changed. Oh, Shane Dawson has changed because I believed it. And I'm genuinely embarrassed by that. Some creators out there, credit to people like D'Angelo Wallace, have been calling Shane out on his bullshit for far longer than 2020. He's been doing it for a long time. And I'm actually embarrassed that I guess fell for the whole Shane Dawson facade.
I think there's also something that's really easy to forget when you're being attacked on such a public scale by so many people, that there's also a huge amount of people who love you.
Yes. And for some reason you forget.
It's so easy because they're not as loud because they get shut down or whatever. But
it's scarier to defend as well.
It's scary to defend. What is there to defend? I would love to know what they actually believe that they can be defended on in any of these situations. Like, these guys aren't willing to take criticism. Their comment sections, well, the lack of it shows that. In conclusion, yet another terrible response. Shane Dawson's response last year, absolutely terrible. Jeffree Star's response last year, repulsive. This response, which only really came because Shane Dawson was losing subs, again, is bad, and Trisha claims that the majority of it is a complete and utter lie, and they knew that this whole thing was going on the whole time, according to Trisha Paytas. But as I've said, there is this massive picture being painted of the manipulation of Shane Dawson, this guy who was so squeaky clean for around 3 years, but now I guess it's all coming to fruition. This guy, in my opinion, his career is done. I really do not understand how he can come back from this. I really can't see the entire YouTube community forgiving the guy and just jumping back on the Shane Dawson bandwagon. But that is the ending of the video. I would love to know your opinions on this because it is genuinely quite a deep, topic. So go to the comment section. Let's get to 10,000 comments and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. I'm sorry if I've been a little bit slow in this video. I am feeling, to be honest, a little bit ill. So can I exploit that by saying, feel sorry for me and like this video? I want 50,000 likes on every single video. It would be absolutely amazing if you could do so. And also, I'm trying to 800k. Please subscribe. That is the end of the video. My social medias are in the description. inabber69 on Twitter. But yeah, thanks for coming along, people. I'll see you on Monday. Well, actually, I'll see you on Saturday in a live stream. Take it easy, my beautiful dumplings. Bye.